Former Cleveland Browns first-round pick Phil Taylor just dropped a bombshell about Shedeur Sanders not being given a real chance with the Cleveland Browns. We're going to break down exactly what he said in this video. So let's get into it. Every city I travel to, people know me, they recognize me, and they know I always speak the truth. Once again, as I mentioned before, Phil Taylor, the former Cleveland Browns nose tackle drafted back in 2011, is now making it clear that Shedeur Sanders didn't really get a fair shot during the Browns' off-season quarterback competition. I'm sure most of you already sense this and probably agree, since we've been following this entire battle all off-season long. I'll play the video clip so you can hear his words directly, and then I'll give you my take as we move forward in this video. The reality is, this kind of favoritism happens in the NFL more than fans want to admit. And when it does, talented players like Shedeur get pushed aside before they even have a chance to prove themselves.
I don't think he got a fair shot. I think everybody, including coaches, media, everybody he was kind of doomed from the start just because I feel like who his father was. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then that's another knock against him, saying, he's only been coached by his dad. If anything, his dad showed him the right way and the only way, and how to work hard and do things as a pro. It should be a given you would want to draft this guy. But I felt like owners and things like that, they didn't really like Prime and how flashy he was, so it kind of put a bad stain on Shedeur. But I think Shedeur is one of the classiest guys out there, and what I'm saying,
absolutely,
and
he's still a kid,
and that's the thing, and it's like I said, it's too much court of public opinion. You know what I mean? You got to let the guy play.
Absolutely nothing Phil Taylor said is anything new. You all know we've been covering Shedeur Sanders since his Jackson State days. I mean, Shedeur Sanders was literally just about 30 minutes from where I live, so it's not like we suddenly hopped on the bandwagon. We've been following Shedeur Sanders from the start, through his time at Colorado, and now with the Cleveland Browns. There's nothing Phil Taylor mentioned that we haven't already seen in this quarterback battle. Let's be real, it was never a true competition between Shedeur Sanders and those three other quarterbacks. We all know they weren't giving him first-team reps. They weren't giving him a real chance to fight for the job. Why? I have no idea. But instead of letting him compete, they went chasing Arch Manning. And what happened? Arch Manning flopped right in front of everyone. And here's the thing, when you try to cheat someone out of their chance, when you're fueled by envy and jealousy, God exposes that to the world. That's exactly what's happening to the Cleveland Browns right now. They've been doing everything possible to block Shedeur Sanders from shining, even making moves to make him look bad on purpose. But when you scheme like that, God doesn't let it slide. He flips it on you and makes you look 10 times worse. That's why I fully respect how Shedeur Sanders has handled this entire situation with patience and class. He doesn't have to clap back, because the truth always comes out in the end. There's really no point in even wasting time talking about what's going on with the Cleveland Browns, because they're already showing the world how dysfunctional and pathetic they are as a franchise. And honestly, I feel the same way. There's no reason for me to go back and forth with people who try to throw dirt on my name or run their mouths, because eventually God exposes those insecurities. All you can do is keep building your legacy, keep grinding, and keep being great. Shedeur Sanders will get his chance. No question about it. We already know he's legendary. And when someone is legendary, you don't need to be told. It's obvious through how people treat them and try to bring them down. Shedeur Sanders doesn't need validation, because his talent and presence already prove it. The way the NFL is trying to humble him, shutting doors and creating obstacles for no reason, is proof enough that they fear what he represents. It makes absolutely no sense, but it's the kind of nonsense that always backfires in the end. That's why I say again, he doesn't need to beg for respect, because his greatness forces people to respect him sooner or later. So at the end of the day, everything we've been saying about Shedeur Sanders is proving to be true. The Browns can try to hide it, the NFL can try to downplay it, and the media can try to spin it, but greatness can't be denied. Shedeur doesn't have to argue, beg, or even explain himself, because the game will always expose who's real and who's fake. And when that moment comes, all the people who doubted him are going to look foolish. If you've been rocking with me through this whole breakdown, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Trust me, we're just getting started, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.